It might be described that a person has a network of support around them that might be made up of paid workers, professionals, and family and friends. And all of those people provide support in some manner. A circle of support is distinct in that it is informal support who are unpaid that intentionally come around a person with a disability with a specific focus and purpose. And often that's to enhance their life and provide a good life for and with them.
They're the ones that are there day to day. They're the ones that actually work closely with the person. As a behaviour support practitioner, we're often there maybe once a week if you're lucky. You might come in once a month. And you may read a lot of information about the person in between, but you're not there in their lives. You're not the expert on their lives. The people who are there supporting them are.
They're also the ones that are going to be here for a lot longer than any of the formal supports. Formal supports will come and go. The informal supports last, and we want to strengthen those and build on those so that they do last and we can sustain them throughout the participant's life, because they're the ones that they'll lean on when it's outside of working hours, really, or it's on the weekends. The formal support network isn't there forever.
Where behaviour support practitioners fail to meaningfully and authentically engage with their clients, they run a grave risk of missing out on a lot of essential knowledge and indeed wisdom that needs to be built into and incorporated into the behaviour support plan.
If you develop a behaviour support plan without gaining that extra knowledge and understanding from the people that are around the participant, the plan you develop will be useless because it won't actually apply to that person.
You're going to miss the vital information about a person. You're going to miss the depth of knowing who they are at the core of their being. And often people have a history as well. They know the history of a person, and those stories and anecdotal information can be pivotal pieces of information in a behavioural support plan.
What has really enriched Hayden's life is that behaviour support practitioners have taken the time to get to know him and to interact with the people around him who support him and know him really well.
I don't work with Hayde. I hang out with Hayde. He's my friend. His entire existence is about his creating of art, making of art. We started communicating with each other with drawings. So he'd ask me to do a drawing and I'd ask him to do a drawing. And in that way, we kind of formed this collaboration that was a functional tool to communicate to the rest of the team. And I could then show them the drawings and go, hey, look, this is what Hayde needs. This is what he wants. I could become a bit of a translator because Hayde was decoding the drawings for me. So I could then explain the drawings to the speech therapist, to the other members of his MDT team.
So it's really critical for a behaviour support practitioner to authentically engage with the support circle that gathers around a person. And that shouldn't just include support workers. They're a critical part, but it definitely should include family and any other informal relationships that they have. And that is really critical because otherwise a behaviour support practitioner will revert to their training and it will become very clinical or pathological rather than looking at the person as a whole.
Remember that this is a person's life that we're talking about and that they are the centre of that life, regardless of how complex their needs or their behaviour is. At the core of their humanity, they have the capacity for autonomy and control over the direction of their own life.
People with disabilities are people. Every person should be able to have their own decision-making and their own choice and control of their lives. People with disabilities are not different than that. Their lives are just more challenging.
To support autonomy comes back to communication. It comes back to listening to them, to taking time, to really understanding who they are and what's important to them.
They have needs and aspirations. To hear that is vital, and to find ways to access that is the responsibility of the professional sitting on the other side of them.